Think about this for a second. Right now, you are rocketing through space at over 1,000 miles per hour. You don't feel it, but your entire world is spinning at a breakneck speed. But what if it didn't? What if the Earth just stopped? If the Earth slammed on the brakes, the first second would be absolute chaos. Thanks to inertia, everything that isn't welded to bedrock would keep going. People, buildings, trees, and topsoil would be scoured from the ground and launched eastward at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. The atmosphere itself would still be moving, creating winds faster than a fighter jet that would trigger firestorms across entire continents. It would be a blender on a planetary scale, a level of devastation that's almost impossible to imagine. And that's just the beginning. The planet's oceans, carrying unimaginable momentum, would rise up into continent-sized mega-tsunamis, literally wiping coastlines off the map. While all that chaos is unfolding, an even bigger change would take over. Earth's spin creates a slight bulge at the equator. Without that spin, gravity would take full control, pulling the planet into a more perfect sphere. This would force the oceans to go somewhere else. Water would drain from the equator and flood toward the poles, submerging huge parts of Europe, Asia, and North America. And in its place, a brand new megacontinent would rise from the sea, a belt of dry land wrapping around the Earth's new waste. This all sounds like a wild, apocalyptic sci-fi plot, right? But what if I told you that a force capable of changing our planet's rotation isn't just real, but is already happening? The culprit isn't some alien death ray. It's us. It's climate change. As the massive ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica melt, all that water weight gets redistributed from the poles toward the equator. It works exactly like a figure skater. When they pull their arms in, they spin faster. When they extend their arms, moving mass away from their center, their spin slows down. In the same way, as meltwater spreads across the globe, it's making the Earth just a tiny bit more sluggish. It's a pretty staggering thought that our collective actions can have consequences on a literal planetary scale. If your mind is spinning with these kinds of connections, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos that explore the biggest questions in science. This isn't a what if, it's a what is. Scientists have confirmed that our activity is already changing the rotation of the Earth. Days are getting measurably longer, with our impact adding fractions of a millisecond over time. It's now so significant that this slowdown from melting ice is counteracting a recent natural trend of the Earth speeding up due to its core. This has actually created a weirdly practical problem, forcing timekeepers to postpone the need for a negative leap second from around 2026 to at least 2029. This tiny adjustment is a huge reminder that our entire civilization is synchronized to a planetary rhythm that we are now actively changing. So while our current slowdown is minuscule, it does make you wonder, what if it went way beyond our worst-case scenarios? If the world stopped spinning entirely, the day-night cycle as we know it would be gone. One half of the planet would be locked in a permanent scorching day, while the other half would face an endless, freezing night. The only place life might survive is in a narrow twilight zone between the two extremes. But even there, it would be a struggle. With no spin, the Coriolis effect that drives global wind and ocean currents would vanish, causing our entire weather system to collapse. And without the stabilizing influence of its spin, Earth's magnetic field, our shield against deadly cosmic radiation, could eventually weaken, leaving our atmosphere vulnerable to being stripped away by the solar wind over millions of years. Look, a sudden, complete stop isn't in our planet's destiny. That's still firmly in the realm of hypothesis. But the fact that we can now measure our own impact on the length of a day, that is a profound and pretty sobering discovery. It shows us that we aren't just passengers on this planet, we're in the driver's seat, and our choices have the power to alter the very foundations of our world. The question is no longer if we're having an effect, but what we decide to do with that knowledge.